Nigeria can't progress without restructuring, says Fayemi. Says fundamental restructuring inevitable, written by Before Usewele. Chairman of the Nigerian Government Forum (NGF) and Ekiti Governor Kayode Fayemi has restated his call for restructuring of the country. He maintained that a fundamental restructuring is an unavoidable step for the creation and sustenance of a participatory, consensus-oriented, accountable, responsive and equitable national governance based on respect for the rule of law. Fayemi explained that his party, the All Progressives Congress (APC), included restructuring in its 2015 and 2019 manifestos and has been working towards it in a bid to use its platform to address the perceived structural imbalance. The restructuring, he said, must address issues like writing the People's Constitution and the question of constitutional governance, the fundamental precept of authorizing principles of national togetherness, citizenship and national question, the political economy of federalism, including the allocation of public revenue, security sector governance, human rights, social justice, electoral system, type of government, parliamentary or presidential, among others. While urging Nigerians to always hold their leader accountable in order to strengthen the nation's democracy, he argued that democracy goes beyond the right to choose leaders through the ballot. The governor stated this on Wednesday while delivering a paper at the United States Institute of Peace, Washington, D.C., United States. His lecture was entitled 20 Years of Democracy in Nigeria, Successes and Challenges, at the event with the theme Deepening Democratic Governance in Nigeria. While noting that Nigeria has made significant progress as a democracy since returning to civil rule in 1999, Dr. Fayemi opined that democracy is a journey and not a destination. Hence, the need to address imbalances in the Nigerian Federation. On the need for Nigerians to show more interest in governance and hold their leaders accountable, Dr. Fayemi stated that an indifference might be dangerous for democracy. The democratic institutions cannot be strengthened in a climate of apathy and clinical disengagement. Dr. Fayemi said the current phase of the struggle is therefore not just about maintaining the sanctity of the ballot but also holding those elected accountable and stimulating civic engagement in the public realm in a way that democratizes ownership and improves the quality of life of her people. He said we must banish the idea that governance is something performed by a team of gifted performers or strongmen, while the rest of the citizens are spectators or complainants. What we established in 1999 is the right to choose our leaders via the ballot. But democracy is more than just ability to choose one's leaders. He added, there is a fundamental truth to the saying that politics is too important to be left for politicians. It is about redefining politics itself, transforming it from a refined craft reserved for a select few professional politicians to the protocols and relationships that undergird personal, communal and social well-being. In other words, politics is the management of human relationships, interactions and aspirations in the service of the common good. It is not something mysterious that only politicians do. It is how citizens operate. Politics is a civic responsibility. It is how we engage with each other. The pursuit of good governance means that politicians can no longer be left to their own devices. Seen in this light, the mutual estrangement of government and civil society will end. The civil society will continue to express the communal instincts to regulate power, but the chronic antagonism that poisons relations between the state and civil society will be replaced by mutual respect and positive tension. Civic engagement means that the state can access a much larger pool of wisdom and knowledge made available by a new rapport with civil society. In return, participatory governance will be will become much more practicable across all levels of governance. Before we arrive at that new rapport between the state and society, we must work hard to address a lingering threat, a carryover from the days of military rule. The biggest challenge facing us as Democrats is to rebuild trust between the state and the society. The relationship between both spheres is often needlessly adversarial owing to a lack of trust. Simply put, Nigerians do not trust their government, and this has made it difficult, indeed, in some cases, impossible to build mass citizen movements for a fuller democratic engagement. According to Dr. Fayemi, residual distrust of power, feeds apathy, disinterest, and cynical disengagement. The people distrust their governments, but not enough to actively check them and avert excesses of power. Rather, they distrust the so much that they desert the state, and many simply do not care enough about the public realms. This indifference is dangerous for democracy. Democratic institutions cannot survive or be strengthened in a climate of antipathy, nor can politicians long retain their legitimacy under such circumstances. If the price of a free society is eternal vigilance, then apathy will carry a severe penalty for our republic. He said. The Ekiti State Governor said, looking back on 2 decades of democratization in Nigeria, it is instructive to note that only civic movement mobilized in the context of larger patriotic interests can overwhelm the forces of impunity. It is the discipline of civil engagement that will keep at bay those who wish to turn back the hands of the clock and return us to the dark days of totalitarian rule. The struggle we are engaged in is dedicated to making this democracy truly a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And by so doing, honor the memory of all those who paid the supreme price, pursuant of our common aspirations for the good society. Ambassador Johnny Carson of the USIP and General Agua led the discussion session after the governor's presentation. So guys, we've heard from Dr. Fayemi. You know, all this one are big English that he just blew here, talking about restructuring, that Nigeria cannot move forward without a restructuring. And is it because he went to the US and began to sing this kind of say things that will be pleasant to the ears of people? Has he ever said that even when he has been in Nigeria? But they will go there because they know that people they are talking to, they are not dummies. So they will want to package things well. He has said it, in theory, but in practical, what do we really have? He said in 2020, in 2015 and 2019 that restructuring is in the manifesto of his party, the ruling party now, APC. Then why is it that they are always coming out to say, people don't know the meaning of a restructuring, that restructuring means different things to different people? Recently, the man in his party, SAN, Babatunde Fashola, saying people who are clamoring for restructuring, they need to go and look very well. They need to go and look the meaning and get the meaning of restructuring and bring it to the table and tell people what they mean by restructuring, because that is what they have been telling us, because they are saying restructuring means different things to different people. Then if you know that restructuring it means different things to different people, then how did they define it in their manifesto? What is the meaning of restructuring? They should tell us the meaning of restructuring. Now, Fayemi is saying one thing, Fashola said a different thing, Erufai will come and say the different thing, Buhari will come and tell us another thing, all of them like that. Tinubu will tell us different thing. They are trying to shove away from that. They just want that unitary system of government. They are telling us, Nigerians don't know, people don't know the meaning of restructuring. Meanwhile, they are confirmed. People have been saying it, that they have a restructuring plan in their manifestos. And Fayemi is confirming this again in 2015 and 2019. Then why are they telling us they don't know the meaning of restructuring? If you know or you think that the definition that people are giving about restructuring is not correct, then you tell us what it means by restructuring. They are taking it as if it is people that are saying it. It is not part of them. They never said anything about restructuring. But now people have been saying it is in their manifesto, and one of their men is saying they have it in their manifestos. And Fashola is telling us people should go and get the meaning of restructuring. So what do we make of all this hypocrisy back and forth? Is it because he went to the US and he needed to present something to them, so he just have to say things that will make them to know that they are doing all of those things? Just like I said, all this on a big English, all these things that we read, they are just big English. It's theory. We are talking of practical, then practicalize it. Who are you telling? Are you telling the people in the US? Why can't you tell your people, your party people? Why are you not championing it? When Afenifere, when Ohaneze, when Pandef will come out and be saying restructuring, you people will be saying they don't know what they are talking about. But you went to the US now and be saying restructuring is what we need in Nigeria for us to move forward. Why are you not singing the same thing in Nigeria? Why can't you tell people that you are, be singing it, loud it? They will go outside the country and be saying something different. Even if they are in Nigeria, once they are being called upon to come and give a lecture, they will say the right thing. That's why we say all these rhetorics, all these sweet-coated whatever speeches they always say. It's different from what they act on. We are talking of action. They put it in practice, or go and tell your party people. So guys, that is just my opinion. These guys are just there to deceive us, to be saying different things. In as much they are smiling to the banks, in as much their own butter, their bread is being buttered. They don't care. They will come and tell you what you want to hear. What you want to hear, what people want to hear. They will tell you, but they will not do the things that people want in real sense. So guys, I would like to hear from you what Fayemi has said concerning restructuring. Leave your comments below. Thank you very much. Bye.